Thought I'd do a quick walk through my orchard, share what's going on. Lots of flowers, not everything. These two big guys, they took a lot of pruning last year for their common mango. So not a commercial variety, but the one I use for rootstock. Right now we're about halfway through the flowering season. I think this is the second round of flowering. This is the raposas. They're doing pretty good. As you can see, there already was one round of flowering, and now is the second round. This round hopefully will do a little better than the first round, which was wet throughout that time, so a lot of lost flowers were set. The raposa is very tolerant to powdery mildew, which is a reason for being such a good variety, as well as its appearance and taste, which is, to me, in my opinion, uh, one of the best mangoes that we have in Hawaii. The raposa mango, really good set, flowers regularly every year. This is an mango that was developed in Hawaii, and so we call it raposa, but it has a lot of the same characteristics as the mango. Last year I had to prune heavy in anticipation of a hurricane that was supposed to hit, but ended up going a little north, and luckily we missed everything. So a lot of the tallest trees got a heavy pruning, and so they might miss the flowering, but not necessarily, because this is the kit mango and this is the late season mango. Usually mangoes ripen in October, as late as October, so there's still a chance that it's gonna flower on the next flush. But like I said, the raposas are pretty much in full flowering, and white piri was the first one to flower, followed by the raposa, and the common mango also flowered. Here's another raposa. Lots of little mangoes, but it's been so windy this day that all around town, all the mango trees around town, there's a bit of mango drop going along. I believe this is a Hayden mango. I don't have very many Hayden mangoes, but every now and then one pops up. More cute mangoes. There's a bunch in here. Now, this maybe 10% of the trees in this field are flowering of the kit mangoes. So I'm still expecting a bigger flush for these guys to occur when these are done. When the raposa and the white piri is done, then I expect the kit mangoes to come in. There's also some flowering going on with namdakmai, but I don't have very many namdakmai trees in this field. See, like this guy's still recovering from pig damage that took off all the lower branches, but it's coming along nice. Here's a kit mango that flowered on the bottom and flushed the leaves on the top. But maybe not. Nope. Looks like maybe more flowers are coming on. Here's a nice common mango tree. I don't know what common mango, what kind of name it has in other places in the world. It doesn't really, I don't think, specify one type of mango, just all types of mangoes on the side of the road. It is not Hayden. So that's it. This section is a lot of flower. Here's another one, nice and lots of flowers, lots of little fruit. You can see how this variety, the panicles, the flowers, they're so clean. hardly any powdery mildew, as opposed to white peri, which is highly susceptible to powdery mildew. Such a tasty variety, it always wins in taste tests. But the fruit set is horrible. This year I'm trying to use sulfur and potassium silicate to try to combat some of this powdery mildew. And that's it. Lots of flowers, lots of no flowers. But because this field is mixed with varieties, you know, it looks sparser. If it was all white peri or all raposa, then I'm sure this whole field would have been flowering. But because we have about 6 varieties in this field, then there's still a lot of differentiation in flowering. We had an early flowering in October that had a little bit of fruit set, but it was hard to get through that season, the wet season. This whole row is kip mangoes. No flowering here yet. But these ones took the heaviest brunt of the pruning because of the approaching hurricane, and these are the tallest trees. So if they skip a year, I wouldn't be surprised. But at the same time, I'm hoping that it does flower. Towards the end, there's a ripe common mango. It's about as nice as common mango get. You know, usually they oftentimes have a lot of anthracnose on them. But I tried to choose varieties that didn't show anthracnose damage because I want to use them for rootstock. Here's another fully ripe one. You know, so hopefully if it doesn't have a lot of anthracnose on, that it can pass some of that traits on to the scions that I use. And like I said, here's on the trellis, and you know, a lot of flowering is going on here. These guys haven't really flowered yet, so this is its first run of flowers, and I expect this whole tree to be covered in flowers in the next couple weeks. And this is white peri, so you can see how, I don't know if you can see on the video, but with the white peri, lots of powdery mildew. I don't know if you can actually see it, but just that powdery look on the panicles and the flowers. But I've been using sulfur for the first time, so I'm gonna see if we can improve the fruit set. You can see all that brown flowers. That's what happens to the powdery mildew trees. The flowers just dry up. Doesn't look healthy at all. We can see it's just getting into that full flowering. But hopefully with a little bit of fungicide, we can help control a little bit of it. See, you can see from this, like, look at that fruit set compared to the raposa. Maybe one on each panicle, where the raposa would have like 10 or 20 of these guys. So that's the result of the powdery mildew, and hopefully this new flowering will be better set. I know the timing is also key to good fruit set, and here's a little bit better fruit set going on, but it's still got a long way to go before finished. So that's my quick update on how the trellises are looking and how the ultra high density field is looking. Alright, aloha from Kauai.